All right, y'all. I just launched the Ginu out of Bayport. It's right down there. I'm gonna go ahead and hop on the water and see if I can go get me some fish. My game plan for today is to go up north of Pine Island, fish some of those back creeks, and try to get on some redfish, maybe even some trout back there. Reason being, today is one of the coldest days we've had in a while. It's 40 degrees right now. That's why I'm so bundled up. Yesterday, it only got to a high of about 50. Today, it's gonna be about a high of like 60. So these fish, especially with the incoming tide, they're gonna be pushing back up further and further in those creeks. It's dead low tide right now, so it's probably gonna take me a while to get out to my first spot. But once I do, it's gonna be awesome. Also, this pink Red Bull right here, this wild berries flavor, I don't know what they put in it. This stuff's addicting. I'm not gonna say it's better than the peach or the blueberry, but it's up there. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. I'm just gonna get out to the spot. Let's go. I'm gonna get casting right now. The wind is pushing me in a good direction. Oh yeah, that was the school right there. Oh, I knew it. Pushed up in the back creeks, man. Dude, there's so many. The water's boiling right here. Practically anyways. Why am I not stopping myself? I need to stop myself. So they're not in the very, very shallow water. They're sort of in the trough. So I gotta be casting right there, off to the right. Oh, fish on me, fish on me. Eat it, eat it. Come on, eat it. Got him, got him. Dude, he followed it for so long. That was so sick. I can't believe that, dude. Whoa, this is a crazy looking red. Holy, oh, of course he wants to go into the boat. They always do. They always do. Dude. It's like a different world out here, it really is. Just a nice little cookie cutter redfish. Probably 17, 18 inches. I can't believe this right now, man. Am I recording? Yes, I am. Holy. Check this bad boy out right here. Pretty redfish, man. And of course, it was on that Salt Strong 2.0 paddle tail. That 3.5 inch is just a good size in general. Summer, spring, fall, winter, you know, it's pretty good size. Not too big, not too small. Pretty redfish, though. Oh my goodness. If you give them a little shake, they really perk those fins up. Absolutely gorgeous. And I knew it was exactly sort of what I was talking about, where I said, you know, the fish are going to be up in these back creeks trying to warm up on that mud. I found a school of probably like, I don't even know, 100 of them. And then half of them were probably mullet. And then, yeah, just cast it into that deep trough, rolled it back. Saw this guy trailing it for probably a solid 10 seconds or something. And he finally committed to it. That's wild, though. I love it. I'm gonna go ahead and get him back in the water real quick. I don't want him out of here for too long. Luckily, the water's nice and cool. Ooh, so he'll be able to revive pretty quickly. Today started out pretty good. I mean, right off the bat, I was only fishing for maybe 10, 15 minutes. I already caught a fish. I sort of found the areas they're gonna be hanging out. So for the rest of the day, I'm just gonna be targeting these kinds of areas, and hopefully I can catch some more. I'm gonna keep moving back up in this creek. I'm gonna see if there are any fish hanging out back there, and if there are not, I'm gonna flip back around, and hopefully these fish won't remember that I was once here. I'm just gonna drift, cast up around this corner. Perfect. Nice and shallow. That's a fish. That's a fish. That's a fish. Come on. Come on. Little guy. Little guy. Okay. Come on. I got it. I might lose him here. Okay. I had to put the frickin' pole down. Do I still have him? Yes, I do. Okay, good. He's about the same size as the other. That little cookie cutter 16, 17 inch. Let's see. Yeah. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Woo! Nice little run there. Now around this corner, there's probably gonna be quite a few fish hanging out. Jeez, man. This dude's dogging me. Oh, wow, it opens up even more. This is great. Okay, perfect, perfect. We're doing good here. We got a lot more water to cover and a lot more fish to catch. Oh, okay. I got him boat side here. This is bigger than the last one. I would say this guy's around 20 inches. Let's see. Oh yeah, a lot bigger than the last one. And I love the color on these things. Check it out. In this dark water, look at how brown or how bronze these guys get. Absolutely gorgeous, man. So I'm not keeping fish today, but check this guy out, man. So bronze. That's one of the most beautiful reds I've caught in a while. He doesn't really have that bright blue tail that some of them get. He's absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, he's definitely blending in with this darker water a lot better. That's just wild to me. I just think these are the coolest fish ever. And I know the hair is crazy right now. I'm growing it out. Just trust the process. I might look like Doc Brown right now, but it's gonna work out. But I'm gonna go ahead and let this guy go. Such a cool fish, man. I love it. You know what? I'm gonna fly the drone right now. That sounds pretty cool.
3, 2, 1.
The drone is still up in the air, recording like master shots for B-roll. Dude, he thumped it so hard, and I set that hook, but I guess it just, oh, that's another one. Yeah. Dude, same deal, man, same deal. Oh. Dude, I gotta use the drone as like a third-person camera to show it off. Because that's another one of those little cookie cutter reds, man. It's taking master shots right now. I'm gonna turn the master shots off and get it to be a third-person camera for me. I wasn't recording. Oh my goodness. I gotta be on the ready, because there's gonna be some fish up here waiting for me. Got him. Got him. Awesome. Oh yeah. That's what I like to hear, man. Woo-hoo-hoo. Love to hear that drag. Man, it's been a while since I've gotten a bite. Probably been close to an hour now. That little 2.0 paddle tail is really putting in some good work. It is wild how well the reds blend in to the bottom around here. I mean, even right now, I can hardly see them. Perfect. Okay, so this is probably one of the best reds I've caught all day. This one's close to that 20-inch mark. But like I said, I guess that guy's close to Probably about 19 to 21 inches, somewhere in that range. It has been a while since I've caught a fish. I'd say about an hour since I got my last bite. The red's been moving around a lot, but as I'm moving back up the creek, I guess I sort of figured it out a little bit. There's another school of mullet right here. Oh, that's another fish. Oh my goodness, they're everywhere. Oh, this dude's shaking his head like crazy. I gotta tighten up my drag. I don't know why it's pulling so much. I mean, this fish isn't even that gigantic. Whoa, there's another fish with him. Oh my gosh, it's a giant. Hold on. Oh no, I can't catch him. There's a giant redfish that followed him up. Thought they was trying to like steal the bait out of this guy's mouth almost. Dude. Ah. Yet another cookie cutter redfish. I'm gonna get this guy back in the water as quick as I can. There are some big ones hanging out over here that I'm gonna try to get. Oh my gosh, the no-see-ums are swarming me. I must have hit the mangroves with the boat on accident. Okay, get out of here, buddy. Get out of here. I wanna go catch some fish. And I'm sort of working the outsides of the schools of mullet. There's one giant school up there, but I know as soon as I cast in, it's gonna disperse. So I wanna take advantage of the situation I got while I have it. Oh, redfish on me. Redfish on me. Come on, eat it, eat it. Got him. Nice. I watched him eat it right by the boat. Is this camera on? Yeah, it is. Oh my goodness. That was so cool. Dude, he was following it for so long and it was just sitting on the bottom waiting for him. Oh, that was wild. Dude. I think my third person camera is dead now. Or the SD card's full or something. Wild, wild day. Woo! All right. Yeah. Well, my family will be mad if I don't keep him. So I'm gonna go ahead and get him in the boat. Come on, buddy. This is a better one too. This is, I'd say is around 20 inches. Oh, even bigger than that. That's like 22, 23. What an absolute chunk of a redfish. I'm gonna go ahead and measure this dude. I'd say he's around maybe 21, 22 inches. But I'm actually gonna harvest this guy. I didn't bring any ice with me, but I'm gonna throw him in the cooler. I'm gonna be headed back pretty soon. I'm gonna go ahead and dispatch him. And then hopefully I'll be able to film a little redfish catch, clean, cook for you guys. All right, well, I've already stayed a lot longer than I should have, but there are more fish to be caught. I'm gonna fish for probably, oh, that's another red. Yep. I'm gonna fish for probably another 30 minutes or so, try to catch as many reds as I can. And then I'll head out. Is that a trout? Is that a trout? That looks like a trout to me. Dude, that's a freaking trout. Nice. It's been a while, man. I've been catching nothing but reds. I think I've caught 10 so far. 10 redfish, and now a nice little speckled trout. Dude, I'll keep this guy too, why not? Holy. Okay. Well, that is an unexpected yet pleasant surprise. That's not a small trout either. Holy. That's a frickin' chunk of a trout. That's like a 20-incher right there. Wow, at least close to it, probably 19. I'm gonna throw this guy in the cooler, but holy crap, man. Dude, I'm in the backwater right here. This isn't like a deep hole or anything. This is just the middle of nowhere, and I guess there's trout here. That's crazy. How wild is that? All in the exact same lure too. I haven't changed anything yet. This has all been on the exact same Salt Strong 2.0, and I think the alewife color. I'm gonna go ahead and get this guy in the cooler, and I'm just gonna knock off as many fish as I can, man. This is wild. So a little post-trip update for you guys as I'm headed back in. I would say that was a huge success. That was incredible. I probably caught 10 redfish, 10 or 11 redfish, and that giant trout to end out the day. I mean, that really was just picture perfect. I mean, that was incredible. Next, I think I'm gonna do a catch, clean, cook for you guys. I think that'd be a lot of fun. And then I'll definitely leave the fish on some ice, and then hopefully I can fillet them up maybe tomorrow. But I've got probably close to probably an hour ride back. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead, head back to the boat ramp, and I'll see you guys there. Well, you guys, that was one of the most eventful days I've had in a long, long time. Real quick, I'm gonna show you guys what we got. Here is the haul right here. I might need to replace that water. I'm gonna get some ice in there as well. But that was absolutely wild. I'm gonna go ahead and film a catch, clean, cook for you guys. I think that's the right way to go. Caught every single fish on the same lure. I stopped counting after a while, but I think I got somewhere around 10 or 11 reds and one giant trout, which was like the absolute, like the cherry on top. It was awesome. Also, I don't think I've mentioned it on YouTube, but I did acquire myself a sick new wagon. Also, here's the Ginu all loaded up, ready to go. I'll go ahead and put the camera down, and I'll see you guys at the fillet table. How's it going, y'all? It's the next day. I'm here at the fillet table with my 2 keeper fish that I got out of Bayport yesterday. First of all is this 21-inch trout. This is the biggest I've caught in a while. I usually don't love keeping them over 20 inches, but it was the only trout I caught the whole day, and I just thought it was too cool not to keep. And then I have this I'd say a 22, 23-inch redfish. Just peed all over the table. But yeah, I'm gonna be chopping these things up, and I'll be cooking them up later for you guys. Now I think we're gonna start with the trout right here. Trout are a lot easier to clean than redfish. The scales are a lot more forgiving. So I'm gonna start out with this guy. Reason I don't love keeping trout over 20 inches is just because those are sort of the breeder fish. And also, after a certain point, trout will start to get a lot of worms. Now the worms are edible, but it's still just sort of distasteful, you know, don't love them. But again, this was the only trout I caught the whole day, and trout just have such an amazing flesh that I could not keep it, you know. I was already keeping one redfish, might as well keep a trout too. I'm gonna fillet right down the spine there, and then I'm gonna stick the knife through to the other side and try not to stab myself here. Awesome. Now from this point on, I'm gonna be working sort of down the spine. You really wanna be able to feel that spinal cord so you know you're really getting all the meat off the bones. All right, so there's the spine right there. Once you're going over the rib cage, you want to sort of lift your knife up to pop through those pin bones. And then you want to fillet down the ribs. Angle the knife downwards to get onto the other side of that spine. Awesome. And then from then on, you just get right on the other side there. Make sure you're not cutting through the ribs. If you ever feel like you are just sawing at the bones, you're probably doing it wrong. You're probably getting into that rib cage, which you definitely do not want to do. And just like that, that is a nice little trout fillet. I missed a little bit of meat here by the tail. It's not a huge deal. But if you look right here, that's sort of what I was trying to avoid. I was getting really close to that gut cavity there. So I'm gonna go ahead, clean the other side, and then I will show you guys the redfish. I almost forgot to skin these things too. Now, when you skin a fish like this, you really wanna line the meat up with the edge of the table like that. Because if you were to fillet, here, the handle of the knife there can't really get flush with the table, but if you put it like this, totally flush. Now, the only thing that trout sort of have going against them is that very, very thin skin. Their scales are not like a redfish or like a black drum where the scales are thick and they're dense, and if your knife goes up against them, the scales will sort of just deflect them. Trout skin is almost, I would compare it to like mahi skin. Of course, mahi scales are a lot thinner than trout scales are, but the skin's really easy to puncture. So you want to be really careful when you're going along like that. You want to sort of trail your hand behind to make sure you're sort of getting all the meat off there. With that being said, this knife does have a serrated edge on the back of it, so you always want to be careful of that. As you're going, you want to make nice, even strokes. This knife is not as sharp as it used to be. It usually is a lot easier, but you can see I left a little bit of meat on the skin there. That was on purpose. A lot of the stuff underneath that layer of meat is very fibrous. You get a lot of that bloodline. If you look on the other side of this fillet, there is hardly any blood there at all. Part of that is because I bled it right after I caught it, but also trout just have a very, very mild bloodline. It's very, very nice. The meat can be a little bit mushy. Redfish tends to hold together a little bit better, but if you're just making fried fish, fish tacos, do not sleep on trout. It's really, really good. I'll go ahead and skin the other one off camera, and then I will fillet the redfish for you guys. All right, y'all, we're back in the kitchen. I let the fish chill overnight, but we're gonna cook it up here. The goal is to make some fish tacos. We already got a plate of tortillas made up right here, a little bowl of slaw. We're gonna be making a little white sauce, pan-searing the fish, and then throwing it all together after. For the white sauce, it's gonna be super simple. We got a little bit of Duke's mayo right here, sour cream, lime juice, gochujang, and some garlic powder. All right, so we're gonna be doing about a half a cup of sour cream right here. That's like way too much, but measurements don't have to be exact. And we're gonna be eyeballing about a third cup of mayo. This is a half cup, so probably about that much in there. All right, next we gotta add about 2 tablespoons of lime juice. I'm gonna just go ahead and eyeball that. That's probably fine right there. And for the gochujang and the garlic powder, it's really just how you like it. I like my stuff pretty garlicky, so we're gonna add quite a bit of that in there.
I like garlic too.
And then also, it all depends on how much spice you like. We like it pretty spicy. This gochujang isn't too spicy, so I'm gonna add quite a bit of it in there. And I think that's it. It's only 4 or 5 ingredients, it's really simple. I'm gonna go ahead and mix that up, and that should be really, really good. We're gonna be seasoning up the redfish first. If you guys look at these 2 fish right next to each other, they are pretty much identical. The fish are basically the same size, but the redfish, the flakes are a lot further apart. It holds together a lot better. It all depends what you prefer. I prefer redfish over trout. Trout can be a little mushy sometimes. But if you're making tacos and sandwiches where it's, it's gonna hold together just fine, it's really, really good. Now for the seasonings, we're gonna try to keep it as simple as possible. I'm gonna start out just with a little bit of salt. The fish is already salty enough. There's plenty of salt in the taco, so we're not gonna add too much. I'd say just a couple pinches. It's probably fine. And then after that, we're gonna go in with a little bit of ground black pepper. Again, we don't wanna go too heavy. The sauce is gonna add majority of the flavor in these tacos, so we're just seasoning them up so they don't taste too fishy. Next, what's really gonna give it some flavor is some garlic powder. Again, we like it very garlicky, so we're gonna go ahead, cover that thing in some garlic powder. And then finally, just a little bit of coriander. Coriander can be pretty overpowering, so we don't wanna add too much. We're just gonna sort of sprinkle it on there like that. Again, the fish isn't gonna be sort of the main flavor of the taco. That's gonna come from the sauce. This is just gonna keep that fish from tasting too fishy. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side, and then I'll show you guys how we're gonna cook it up. We got the pan right here. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of avocado oil right here. We've already had the pan heating up for a little while now. I'm gonna go ahead, stir the oil around a little bit, sort of get it coating the pan. I got my redfish here, I got my trout here. We're gonna go ahead and throw these things in the pan. Starting out with the redfish. The pan has been heating up for a minute now. Woo. All right. We're gonna get the redfish down here. Might be a little bit big for the pan, but we'll make it work. And then I'm gonna go in with a stick of butter right here, right along the side. That's gonna melt, and then I'll be able to sort of spoon it over the top of the redfish. Here we have our jumbled assortment of trout and redfish right here. I'm gonna go ahead and lay down a tortilla. We're gonna put one of our pieces of fish, oh, that is hot. Woo, right on top of the tortilla there. Gonna get some of our slaw on top. Awesome. And then we're gonna finish it off with a little bit of white sauce. That's not enough slaw, I'm gonna put more. With that, our fish tacos are done. I'm gonna go ahead and try it. Let's see how it is.
Is it yummy? I liked it when I tried it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and make a few of these. All right, y'all, that's gonna do it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Later.